Champions Cup Sunday games. Some teams that could use a win. All these teams lost their opening fixtures. So, in terms of where they are going to be at, two teams are going to be back in contention, and two of them are probably going to be one step closer to being out after this Sunday's game. It's Monday here in New Zealand. Then we got 2 a.m. and 4:15, so not ideal. But hey, that's what happens for living on the other side of the world. The first one, Sale against La Rochelle. Interesting. Sale had a pretty close loss last week against Glasgow. They were away. They are back home for this one. So I guess there's a bit more pressure on them, but it's perhaps an easier fixture in terms of trying to get a result here. La Rochelle kind of got done by Exeter, and that was at home. So they're in a rough spot. Needing to get a win at some point. Like I said in my other video, last year only one team who managed to lose 2 games actually managed to squeak through, and that was Glasgow, who made it through in 8th as the 8th qualifier. So it's going to be tough. Both sides have made a fair few changes. For Sale, de Klerk is back after the World Cup. Ashton's back on the left wing. Rob Dupree is getting a start. Solomona's on the right wing. Tom Curry gets a start, so there's a raft of changes for Sale. We will see how that impacts the side. Like I said, I think the pressure is really on them to get a result, especially after that job that Exeter did, and these guys are at home. So we'll see what kind of difference some of these big guns make as well. For La Rochelle, they've also made a few changes. Ihai West, who really didn't impress all that much last week, he is out. James is back in for him. Murimulivalo gets a start. Herrera is there at tight head. Goudon's at 6. So they've also rung the changes. But Sale are one of the biggest favourites this week in terms of all the games. I think maybe it was only Saracens against Ospreys that had a bigger margin, at least on paper. This one, Rugby Forecast, the algorithms got Sale by 13 points, and the bookies have got Sale by 12. So high expectations on them to bounce back with a win here. Like I said, they didn't lose to Glasgow by much. It was a tight game, so we'll see if they can kind of dust themselves off and pick it back up here. The next game, and the final game for the week, is Montpellier hosting Gloucester. Montpellier were disappointing last week. That Connacht side that they played was kind of injury ravaged, although it was an away game, and they couldn't get the job done. They lost 23 points to 20, so they did pick up a losing bonus point, if nothing else. For Gloucester, also a losing bonus point for them. It was at home, and it was against Toulouse, who are the second favourites to win. I think second or third favourites to win the whole thing. I think third favourites. So there's kind of not a huge disgrace in that, but ideally at home they would have liked to hold. So now the fact they've got to go to France and get a win, it just adds to the pressure. I mean, like I said, in theory you could lose it, but you're putting yourself into a really tough spot if you have to go and win all the rest of your games. So it should be an interesting one. Both sides have made a raft of changes. I think Montpellier's only got 5 guys who started last week, also starting this week, and for Gloucester I think it's only 4. So huge changes. I won't go through all of them, but Immelman starting at Montpellier's 15 jersey. Nadolo's in there on the left wing. Both the Duplessis brothers starts. There's no Cruden, so it's a whole new look. Montpellier side. For Gloucester, 12 Trees starts. Likewise, Jakob Creel. Brayley gets a start. Woodward's still there at 15. So it's a different looking side. And I think they've travelled. I think I read they travelled quite late. So we'll see if that pays off for Gloucester. There's no Cipriani either. Mostert's not being brought back yet. So I'm not sure if that shows that the focus is already back on the Premiership, or if they're just taking player welfare to that next level. You guys have to let me know your thoughts. Rugby Forecast has got Montpellier by 5 points, whereas the bookies are going the French guys by 12. Montpellier by 12. So we'll see how it works out. I'll see how I can watch these games. I may end up just doing kind of a delayed view. If I can maybe simulcast them delayed at like 5 o'clock in the morning, I can probably watch them before I head off to work and then review them when I get back. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on these fixtures. How do you think they're going to go? And I will talk to you again soon. See you later.